Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I just want to bring awareness to something that I am starting. It is kitchen table discussions dealing with work from home. So basically, I'm going to be a work at home coach for many of you all who are interested in supplemental income. We are going to do this, though, correctly, confidently, and consistently. Okay, so if you are on board with making supplemental income, you will be tuning in to the kitchen table discussions as well as taking the tips that I will be providing in each one. The first one begins on Thursday at 9 a.m., February 22nd, and there will be other dates announced for every time that you tune in to those kitchen table discussions. If you want further information, you can send an email to NichollMcGuire@gmail.com. Now, I will tell you that when I started this work at home journey, I started it actually in 2000. Okay, I had a son back then, and he was a motivation for me. He was a toddler at the time. And then I had another son that same year, and he was just demanding. I mean, he was crying and he had his share of issues, and meanwhile I was crying broke. Okay, so back then I had the baby that was within, eventually born, as well as the baby who was trying very hard to walk. So 2000 was an interesting year, and at that particular time I had been doing a lot of research and came across eBay. I also wanted to work from home, selling some items other than what I received from thrift stores and items that I already had within my house. So that's when Avon showed up. Things were moving right along. 2001 came along, and then that's when I decided that I needed to add another income stream because, once again, the kids were getting older and things were getting costly. So Petra, a lingerie company, is what I was introduced to by a neighbor. Along that same time frame, someone introduced me to prepaid legal. Now, I will tell you that as soon as people sense, especially those that have their own business opportunities that they're a part of, as soon as they sense that you are open to supplemental income, they're going to hit you up with whatever they're involved in. Now, I was working all of these businesses, okay? Yes, I was working all of these businesses at the same time. But when you start to become pulled in different directions, something has got to give. So what happened was prepaid legal ended up falling. Okay, falling away. No more of that. Wasn't going to be doing the cold calling and ripping and running up and down the road and all that. I did not have a car, so that meant that I was going to have to ride the bus everywhere. Okay, eventually Petra faded as well, because of the home parties. How many parties can you really have? Well, it was starting to get old quick. Okay, so all of these things were starting to fade away around 2002. eBay was still going strong, so was Avon, but I was starting to look for opportunities outside the home. Okay, this is where your good old-fashioned job comes into play. You're still getting money even when you're going to the bathroom, even when you're at the water cooler. Okay? I will tell you that for me, a job has never been as difficult as working from home. So while I'm doing the job, I'm still doing the other things above. Okay? But I'm also making myself available for part-time work, but controlling my own hours, so to speak, by taking up a girlfriend's offer to do some hospitality work. Okay, so we're moving into 2003, and I am just excited about the future. Okay, because I'm like, well, I got some things under my belt. Okay, I'm thinking about just doing a number of things to bring in additional income And so event planning showed up. Okay. So out goes hospitality. Job is still around, but I'm not working a permanent job. I have to be specific, but it's a temporary job. Okay, because one thing about temporary jobs are that they are just that, temporary, and I can go back home and do what I want to do, right? Plus, at that particular time too, I was looking for a part-time job. So part-time jobs are coming, and there's temporary things that are happening, but my event planning, along with, once again, still doing eBay and Avon. Okay. So one of the events that I put together was a home business fair. And this particular home business fair had a lot of folks who had opportunities. I know you've heard that word thrown around. These opportunities were basically what some people would call MLM, others would call pyramids, and others would simply call a job. Okay. And anyway, these particular businesses, though, the people who were representing them were making some supplemental income. So I'm not ever going to take that away from anyone who's a part of that, because the key is that we're working from home to get a supplemental income or to make it your business or whatever. And so this was a hot year in terms of networking, and I was networking and getting to know some people. Okay. But I also had this idea that getting a good old-fashioned full-time job was going to be the best thing, since the kids were getting older and the responsibilities were increasing. So I ended up getting a full-time job as a leasing consultant. After being a secretary, because I was a secretary around 2003, I think it was. I was a secretary, and I just knew that working with that particular gentleman, it was not going to work. So anyway, I put my resumes out and ended up getting a leasing consultant job with a property management company, renting out apartments. Okay. So all of this is going on, and I'm still, though, surprisingly, I'm still working eBay. Avon, though, had dropped off. I was done with Avon once the full-time job came. Okay. So 2003, 2004, a good year. But then around that same time, though, I get involved in a job, or I should say an opportunity, called ACN. ACN was dealing with telecommunications. ACN was supposed to be one of those jobs that you could quit your day job. ACN at that time was also asking me for $500, which I gave them, because the girl who brought me in said that I could make some money. Now, for some of you all, the red flag is already going up, because you're saying, wait a minute, hold up. You gave $500 to be a part of a business opportunity. Absolutely, because they said I was going to get access to the website. They told me that I was also going to get, certain benefits, discounts, and what have you. So the startup was $500. Well, please tell me, Nicole, did you make some money with that? Absolutely not. Why? Because I didn't have the type of contacts that some of those other people had. The one particular individual that I talked to, he had a long database that he had access to because he worked for a real estate company. And so he would ask people about their phone service, long distance service at the time, and all of that good stuff. So if you already have a huge contact list, then you could be able to make these businesses work. Okay. Businesses like the MLMs, the pyramids, and whatever else you want to call them. But I did not have that. So eventually, you know what happens. Bye-bye. See you. I'm not going to be a part of that any longer. So we go full circle right back into continuing on with the job. The job eventually would lead me out to San Diego. Now, San Diego, I am working the full-time job once again as a leasing consultant. Okay. But I'm also still thinking about making additional income. And instead of doing that, that's where your spouse comes into play. Okay, sweetie, honey, you need to think about making some more money. Okay, more than what you're already making. So he actually got a better job than the one that he had, and so that was more money in the house. So at this point, it is now 2004 and 2005, and he and I are doing what? Working full-time jobs. You got it. Okay. And there is no supplemental income coming in at this particular time until I decide, you know what, it's been about a minute. How about I go back to selling some things? Except instead of selling them on the auction sites, I just sold them outright through classified ads. Okay. And what sorts of things? Well, I was selling things around the house. Okay. Furniture, electronics, and that's what I pretty much did, you see. So I'm going to get into, though, some more information in terms of the work at home, because it doesn't stop. 2005, good year, because I've freed myself of a lot of dysfunction, a lot of toxic stuff. But I'm not done, though, with work at home, you see, because there's going to be a period of time, and I will talk to you all about this in future kitchen table discussions, where the work at home comes back around again. And when it comes back around again, I've got to have these key factors. I've got to be disciplined, because some of you all, the opportunity is going to come. Are you going to be disciplined? I had to be motivated. I had to also, yes, have that contact list for my own business. I had to also reach out and connect with my Creator. Yes, I'm going to bring faith into it, because it takes a whole lot of faith when you feel like your back is up against the wall. Okay? My God, my Creator. There was so much that was presented before me. I had prayed about it, you see. And so that work at home opportunity was showing up again. And this is what we're going to get into, is this time period in your life where you are going to have to work correctly, you're going to have to work confidently, and you're going to have to work consistently if you really want your work at home dreams to take effect. And there will be those times where it doesn't make you a failure that you are no longer working from home. If anything, you're going to build up your wealth and then take partial proceeds and put it into the business that you started while you didn't have a job, you see. You're going to make those decisions that are solid, those decisions that are going to bring more wealth to the household. And sometimes people make better decisions when they work for others, okay? So this is a serious series of discussions coming up, and I hope you all will take part in them and share what you're up to or what you hope to accomplish. I will be offering coaching services one-on-one, and those are going to be available for a modest cost, okay, in the future. But in the meantime, though, take advantage of the free lessons that you're going to get to propel you if you are serious about supplemental income. Now notice I said supplemental income. I didn't say the type of money that some of these people out here brag about. And we're going to get into that as well, because yes, some of it is scams, okay, simply put. So please do tune in to the upcoming kitchen table discussions, okay? Starting Thursday, 9 a.m., February 22nd. Any questions? NichollMcGuire@gmail.com. Blessings to you. Please do check the description box for anything else that might be of interest.